Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We humans are very complex organisms and we might have a lot of things similar to one another, but I think more we have things that are not similar. They're different. Different things are more than things that keep us like we have in common. And one of those things that really show this lack of regimentation is opinions or beliefs, likes and dislikes. The communists, one of their, I would say, the big problems and why the failures were that they were trying to ignore human nature and ignore the fact that we don't all think the same, act the same, want the same things and to do the same things. So we have different preferences. And they took the human factor out of it. They thought they were going to be a regular Soviet communist man, a new man. And they were all going to be like that. And it's not like that. Unless you can take this out or this out and put something in there that destroys certain connections. Now this article here, I think by showing its surprise of the results, I think it shows exactly that the new communists are thinking that we should all think the same way and act in the same manner. And that is what they impose. It's not whatever they think is good, we all have to see it as being good. And whatever they see as bad, we all have to see it. If we don't, then we must be bad people. But we're just human. So this article comes from USA Today, and this is the title. It's from today, October 15th, 2022. As FBI probed January 6, many agents sympathized with insurrection, according to newly released email. So many FBI agents sympathized. Now I don't know exactly why this is made, and the article is kind of long. I read parts of it, and I will just give you a little pieces from it. So I'm quoting: a sizable percentage, it doesn't say how many, of FBI employees felt sympathy towards the January 6th insurrectionists and considered, I'm going to use insurrectionists because that's how it's written here, and considered the riot at the U.S. Capitol, and I'm quoting, no different than the Black Lives Matter protest, according to a warning email sent to a top FBI official by someone with apparent connections to the Bureau. So it says here the email was sent to Paul Abate, now the second highest official at the FBI, who responded an hour later thanking the sender for the message. So here it tells us how the people are supposed to look at things in the same way as someone dictates. Well, we know that that's an impossibility if we are to keep our humanity. And I'm going to give you some examples. We all know, right, that taking drugs, eventually the possibility that we die, we overdose, is right there. Especially certain kind of drugs. People still do it. Even though they know, even they don't have only to be told, they know, they're convinced. Look at a person who's an alcoholic. He knows that that's not right. He can't escape and he keeps doing that. Well, that's his choice. For instance, I like certain colors. For instance, I like certain movies. I like certain books. I like certain actors. I like certain artists. I like certain paintings. Like this. You know, I like different kind of things. I like different colors. As I said, I like wood. I like natural wood. I don't like white painted wood. I don't like it. They think that there are certain things, you know, that we all have to like, and if we don't, that's the problem. If we don't, we must be this or that or whatever is convenient to them at that time. And they try to shame you in a way that you change your opinion. Now, I'm not surprised whatsoever that there are people who, I don't want to say sympathize, but there are people who probably sympathize with what happened in January 6th. And there are people who sympathize with the Black Lives Matter. There are people who even supported it. Politicians. They paid money for people to get out of jail, to be bailed out. People who committed, just, how should I put it, just going and stealing from, that's why when they call it like the same as Black Lives Matter, no. That's, there are some similarities, but I think the differences are too great, too big, too many, too numerous. And I remember what happened over there and what happened at this thing, and at the Capitol, all right, in the sixth, in the 6th, and I didn't see people going in there and looting, just going to something and looting that had nothing to do with it. I didn't see anybody going from the Capitol straight to the Louis Vuitton or Gucci store next door and just break it, go in and steal, because why? How that would justify your, protest, against this and that? How? Well, there were some people who came and defended that in Chicago. They said, well, you can understand their anger, and actually because they were taken from in the past, now it's just normal for them to get it back. What are you talking about? That guy taking from the other guy, never met before, never had a successful, versus a person who's just a thug, breaking the window, going and stealing? I can't do that. I can't say that's the same thing as, I don't know, this piece right here over here with January 6th. Now, I'm going to say this. Look in the history of certain countries. And when you talk about insurrection, look what insurrection was. Insurrection was usually with the military and armed. Okay? And it was not necessarily, 5,000 people, 10,000 people, I don't even know how many were over there, but about 10,000, 5,000 people who went to Capitol over there. They're people with guns. The people who take control over, let's say they would have taken over the Capitol. Meaning what? So let's say they wanted to stop the election or whatever. Doing what? Going to the Capitol and doing what? Those 5,000 people, 10,000 people, of a population of 340 million. How do you think they would have... Okay, now we're over there. We are here. Now what? Are they going to create a new government within the... How are they going to do it? Are they going to talk with the guy in the White House? What about FBI? What about CIA? What about the military? What about all these guys that are not... And besides, what are you going to do with those sympathizers in the FBI? What are you going to do with them? Are you going to fire them? Are you going to hang them? Are you going to put them in prison? What would be the penalty for having the wrong thoughts? They're not compatible with the jobs they're doing? Really? I mean, after all, they're human first, right? And then on the 50th place, they're employees of this company. That company, it's not what you are. You are what you are. And then in the 50th place down the list, you are an employee of the FBI or CIA or whatever. That's not the one. So if you go outside and you say something as a human being, they say, that's incompatible with your position as an FBI agent. Why not as a father? Why not as an angry citizen? Why not as a human being? Why not an American? Why not with a guy with a brown or black hair? Why is that? Because they choose to do that so they can destroy you financially. They will fire you, and then you're not going to get a job to, they will in the same level I'm talking about. You're going to get a pipe layer, or I don't know, open the doors at a store, or I don't know, picking up garbage, which is okay. Work is work, but they will get you out. So, and how is that called? Is that economic, financial terrorism? Especially, they can freeze your assets. They can do whatever they want. anything they want, and they can do it legally. They can have a judge sign things. And that's going to be, what are they going to do? You're going to come with a lawyer defending against their lawyers? Even if they accept your thing, they're going to say, okay, we're going to talk about this, I know, in about 50 years. See you back. Or, and if you keep talking, we have a place in Cuba called Guantanamo. Yeah. And we have probably many of those that we don't even know. So you shut up, pay taxes, work hard so we can support our supporters here with your taxes. Okay? Great. Go. Now. Go, mother. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.